I noticed it in a moment that didn't seem important at the time. A small pause. A decision made without anyone turning to ask what I thought. Nothing rude. Nothing sharp. Just the quiet understanding that things were already moving forward. That's how it happens, I think. Not with doors slamming. Not with goodbyes. Just with silence filling spaces where you used to stand. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel hurt exactly. I felt unnecessary. And that word stayed with me longer than I expected. For most of my life, I was needed. Not in some dramatic, heroic way. Just in the ordinary sense that gives a man his shape. People depended on me to show up, to decide, to fix, to carry responsibility when it was heavy and unglamorous. I woke up with purpose without having to think about it. There was always something waiting, someone counting on me to handle it. I didn't question who I was back then, because the answer was built into my days. I was the one who stayed late. The one who solved problems quietly. The one who made sure things kept moving. It didn't feel special. It felt normal. Necessary. And I mistook that for permanence. No one was hiding anything from me. They just didn't need me to weigh in. I waited for a moment that never came. Then I folded the papers and stacked them neatly, as if that action itself meant something. That was when it settled in. The shift had already happened. I was finding out after the fact. Isolation doesn't always look like being alone. Sometimes it looks like being present without being essential. Family still calls. We still talk. There are dinners, holidays, photos sent back and forth. I'm included. I'm welcomed. But inclusion isn't the same as necessity. There's a difference between being wanted and being required, and I didn't understand how much of my identity lived in that difference until it was gone. I listen more now. Not because I'm wiser, but because there's less expected of me. Conversations move around me instead of through me. I'm asked how I'm doing, not what should be done. And I don't resent that. I really don't. What I struggle with is the quiet question underneath it all. Who am I, if no one depends on me? I used to think love and usefulness were separate things. I see now how tightly I tied them together. How much of my self-worth came from being needed, not just being cared for. Is usefulness the same as love? Or did I confuse the two because it was easier than sitting still and being seen without a task attached? Aging has a way of asking questions you didn't know you'd be tested on. I don't feel bitter. The world isn't wrong for moving forward. People grow. Systems change. Younger hands take over. That's how it's supposed to work. Still, there's a strange grief in becoming optional. Not rejected. Not forgotten. Just, not essential anymore. I try to hold my dignity carefully. I don't want sympathy. I don't want to make anyone feel guilty for living their lives. I remind myself that my job was to make myself unnecessary someday. That was the goal all along. And yet, knowing that doesn't make the quiet easier. Some mornings, I wake up and listen to the house. No urgency. No schedule pulling me forward. Just time, wide open and indifferent. I fill it as best I can. Walks. Reading. Small routines that give shape to the hours. But routines don't ask anything of you. They don't need you to matter. I'm learning, slowly, that dignity might have to come from a different place now. Not from usefulness, but from presence. From accepting that being here is enough, even when no one needs something from me. I don't have a clean ending to this thought. No lesson wrapped neatly in wisdom. Just an awareness that arrived quietly and hasn't left. Maybe this is a stage everyone reaches if they're lucky enough to live long enough. Maybe the work now is learning how to stand without being held up by obligation. I wonder how many people are walking around with this same feeling, unnoticed even by themselves. And I can't help but ask. When usefulness fades, what do we choose to let define us next?